everyone. My ponytail is very high today, so please ignore that. I just literally thought about that when I hit start. But hello, everyone. I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner, and this is my review for Teen Mom, Season 8, Episode 14. Tonight's episode was pretty easy. You know, Kale graduated from college. That wraps up her whole thing. That was literally all that happened. It was her graduation day, you know, from her getting dressed to her, you know, walking across the stage. It was really all that it was for her. There was a little scene of her talking with her friends about how Javi and Joe had asked before about coming to her graduation weeks before, but now that it was like time for it, you know, they hadn't really talked about it much. Well, probably because Javi is trying to get child support and Joe trying to get 50-50 custody. So I think it might just be a weird time now. And now you're pregnant. So I think it's a weird, you know, just a little bit weird now. You know, who knows? But, you know, she's also talking to her friends about, you know, how she doesn't have much family. Of course, she does not talk to her mom. One friend does ask, you know, would you invite your mom? And she's like, no, you know, she should be reaching out to me, which I do agree with. She's the daughter. But she does say, you know, she wished baby daddy number 3, Chris, was there and was around. You know, how that's the baby daddy that she wants to be around. I mean, I think Kale, as I say, you know, in the other reviews, I think Kale is a great mom. I think she's selfish still. I think she does not think things through sometimes. Like, I don't think having a third baby with a third person is smart. My thing is, you might as well have had a baby with Javi, because at least then it would not have introduced a third man into the mix, for one. And, you know, I just think that would be it, you know. Because I think because she tried to say how she didn't want, it wasn't the fact that she did not want a third baby, it was that she did not want another child with Javi. But now you have a third baby with a third man who you still don't feel like is going to be around. So what's the point of having a third baby? I just don't get it. So yeah, again, you know, she was saying how she was happy that the friends that she had around were going to be there. It did look like, you know, like two or three of her friends were at the graduation. You know, congrats to her. Graduating college after being a teen mom, you know, can be very hard. My mother, you know, had me and my sister when she was younger. She was married at the time and things. And, you know, she has been, you know, has a few degrees. She was also a person who overcame the odds. But I think as long as you are dedicated to bettering yourself, you don't have to be, you know, held down by being a teen mother. And even if you're a teen, because it doesn't matter whether you're a mother at 15 or at 18. You know what I'm saying? My mother wasn't a teenager. You know, she was 18 when she had me and my sister. Well, you know, a couple years apart or whatever. But yeah, you know, there are still ways to make yourself be better and to be a well-rounded person. I just still feels like Kale makes decisions based on what she wants and what she deems necessary, and she kind of doesn't care how it affects people around her sometimes. Again, I just don't think she should be having a third baby with a third person. But congrats to her for graduating. She has, you know, done great things. You know, she's supposedly going to go back to school. You know, bravo. Leah's story was pretty quick as well. She wants to be a public speaker and speak on just people finding their inner strength. When she was talking, she kept on saying, I know what it feels like to be beat down and stumped on. And I didn't know if she was using those as metaphors to just feeling like life is, you know, hard, and it's been moments in her life where she felt so just beaten down, or if she was saying verbatim that she had been in an abusive relationship and she overcame it. I didn't know how she was using that analogy. I'm not sure. So that part for me was a little bit weird. We do see that she had a speaking engagement, a motivational engagement set up. It was like at this restaurant and everything. I feel like she's not ready yet. That's just my personal opinion. I think I've said before, I think she does have a great story. I think she just has a little bit more to work on before, you know, she should be out giving motivational speeches. I just don't feel like she's ready. I think it's a good thing for her to do eventually. But I mean, I wouldn't go listen to her as a motivational speaker where she is currently in her life. I said before, I think Leah still has things to work on within herself. Not saying that she's not strong, not saying that she is not a good mother, not saying that she has not overcame anything. I'm saying, me watching it, I felt awkward watching her talk because she couldn't really find the words and how to do it. I feel like she should just take some courses somewhere. I think she needs to take some speech courses. I think and not speech as in her dialect or how she talks. I mean, you know, speaking, I took speech in high school, and I took speech and I had debate, and they teach you how to talk to people. It's not as simple as, okay, people can be there and I can say what's on my mind. You can't sometimes think of what to say, and that is what she was being held down by in the beginning. She couldn't figure out what to say, where to start, and things like that. Like, I have a friend who was going to do a YouTube, and she was saying how she didn't do it because she didn't feel like she knew where to find an audience. Me, you know, I am more outspoken, I guess. Even though in real life I'm very, very shy. Like, if I don't know you, I'm not the, you know, outgoing person. I'm very, very quiet. But if I have to speak in front of people, as long as I know what I'm talking about, you know, people are like, you should be this and you should be that. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, it's all what you're comfortable in. I don't feel like Leah is yet comfortable enough in her own life to be a motivational speaker about things to other people. Again, I say give her a year. Give her a year of working on it. Not saying that she shouldn't do little things like that, but I'm like, you know, I would have took a moment. You know, she had a thing where she had people like write things on index cards, like what they're scared of, their fears and things like that, and then they like went out back and like set them on fire. You know, she talked about how her fear was her daughter. How she wanted her daughter to grow up and be like other kids, you know, get married, have a life, not be sad if she falls down, you know, because her daughter has muscular dystrophy. And, you know, she was crying doing it or whatever. And that's why I'm like, I think she still has things to conquer first. Again, give her a year. Give Leah a year, no more than 2 years. And I think she will be great at it if she works at it. I think it takes more than, I'm going to have you guys write down some stuff on a note card and then we're going to just have you burn it. I think it takes more than that. I think if she really takes her time, she could be great. Because she had, you know, 2 divorces, 3 children, 1 who was sick, you know, and whatever else she's overcome in her life that I might not know about. But, you know, that was her whole story. You know, at the end, the girls came in, you know, Allie, Aaliyah, and Aaliyah. Why can't I think of the third girl's name? And that's crazy. But yeah, the 3 girls came in dressed up like princesses. They looked like, you know, pretty little princesses, and also gave things they were proud of or happy about. So I thought that was a good thing. And Leah felt good within herself. But again, my personal opinion is I want to give her a year to get better, basically. So that was Kale. That was Janelle. Was also Chelsea. Was easy. Chelsea baby had a doctor's appointment. You know, the baby had his 4-month shot date. She wanted Cole to go to the doctor's appointment. He said I might have to work, but he made it to the doctor's appointment, and the baby had the shots. That was literally what her story was. There was one part where she's like, hey, look, that's where I used to work at, you know, Aubrey. And Aubrey says, but where do you work now? And she says, well, I work at home. I'm a stay-at-home mom. That was her whole episode. It was literally her whole episode. I feel like Chelsea has a very simple life. You know, she's a stay-at-home mom. I do wish she had more going on, so to speak. Not saying that being a stay-at-home mom isn't enough to do, but, and not saying I feel like in order to be on this show you have to have some kind of drama, but, and I don't mean this in a mean way. Chelsea's storyline is boring. even when they're bringing up Adam and his demons and his drinking or drugging or whatever it is, for me it's still a little bit boring. And I don't even know how to say that without it sounding mean or without it sounding like, oh, you just want drama. But I don't want drama, but I just wish it was something else besides. I mean, I wish today's episode could have been about something else besides my son has a doctor's appointment to get some shots, and we go and he gets his shots. And that was it. That was really it. I just wish, I don't know what she could do. I don't mean that she has to get a job. I don't even mean that she has to get out. I mean, I just wish it was something else. I mean, it just, and I'm trying to think how, I don't know how else to say it without sounding mean, but I'm not even trying to be mean. Like, it was boring. And I get she's a new mom with a new baby, but I just, because my thing is, you watch shows to be entertained, and entertainment doesn't always equate to negativity. Entertainment can just be, your life is entertaining in one way or another. But I'm like, okay. I mean, if they hadn't had her on this episode, I don't think I would have even missed her. I probably would say, well, what happened? But then if they would have showed up, because my thing is, they picked the good stuff. So like, if that was the best thing they had on camera, it's like, yeah. Janelle was pretty simple as well. Her and David were first working in the yard, getting the house ready for their wedding, which we know they have already had. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. Just saying how they want to have the wedding at home. She wants Olive Garden to cater it, and he said, well, what will you get from Olive Garden? And she's like, chicken Alfredo. I think that's a wonderful idea. I love chicken Alfredo. I did not start eating chicken Alfredo until maybe last year. Even though I'm a plus size girl, I'm a very picky eater. I am. I don't eat ice cream. I don't like candy. I'm weird. I don't know, whatever. But I just started eating chicken Alfredo. Maybe it was, I think like last year. So when she said, I was like, chicken Alfredo was delicious. Everyone should love chicken Alfredo. Anywho, so that was their whole thing of just trying to get their wedding together. They then showed the producer talking to Barb, and Barb was sad, just saying how, she know that she has lost her daughter, and that she does not understand why Janelle has to be so mean to her. I completely agree. I think Janelle is just a mean bitch to her mother. I really do. Janelle and Barb have a very, very, very difficult relationship. I get that. And Barb even said how she gets that Janelle is upset with her because she does not have custody back of Jace. But she then also says, but I don't know why she has to be so mean. Janelle is a bitch to Barb. Point blank, period. She's mad at Barb as if she was the perfect mother, and that she has no idea why her mother ever had custody of her son, for the first part. And then secondly, she's like, I don't know why she won't give custody back. And my thing is, because you just got stable with David. And I feel like when you are a bad parent for so many years, you can't say, well, for the past 6 months, I've been good. Or for the past year, I've been good. When your history has been, you're good for so long. And then you slide back down that slippery slope. And your son, who's now 7 or 8, or however old he is, he has a routine where he is. So it is smart to not abruptly change his whole schedule. It is smart to have, visitation, so that you can get used to consistently having him there before you move him there totally. To get him used to being there a little bit. And then eventually, yes, you could get custody back. But you are a total bitch to your mom. You are horrible to her. And it just makes me, because if you think about how many people do not have their mothers in their life because their mothers are no longer here, and you are a complete bitch to your mother, and I feel like it's solely because of David. I really, really, really do. I feel like David is the worst because her other boyfriends didn't like Barb either. They didn't. But none of them would try to make Janelle also not like her and kind of just make Janelle hate her mom. I feel like David helps Janelle hate her mother. And the other guys would just argue with Barb when Barb got on their nerves, but it was never an active, your mother is horrible and you have every right to hate her. She's the worst person ever. And that's what David does. And I think that's what Barb meant by saying, I don't get why she's so mean to me. Because she is very mean. I mean, she just is. And it's like Janelle goes out of her way to make sure Barb feels like a piece of shit. And the bad part about it is, I pray to God that that girl don't lose her mama. And then she realizes how much she loves her mom and how she could never get any of this time back. And my thing is, I just feel like every child should think about that. I mean, your mother helped you and she took in your son when you were unfit. So you should have the utmost respect for your mother. Because what if she just said fuck you and fuck your child and, you know, just didn't care? Would she be a bad person then? But because she helped you and you couldn't help yourself, you can't see the gift that she gave you. Because she also could make your son hate you. But your son doesn't hate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to give her the utmost respect for what she's done for you. And maybe if your relationship was better and she could see you more as a better person, she wouldn't be so against you getting full custody back. I can get all off into stuff. So anyway, yeah, Barb is kind of, you know, and the producer's like, yeah, we see you're emotional about it. And she's like, yeah, I just don't get why she's so mean. I know I lost her. And, you know, that's something I'm just going to have to deal with. So, yeah. But the rest of it was just that, you know, Janelle was in New York shopping for a wedding gown. She did find, like, 2 dresses she liked. I think one dress, what she said was, like, her #1 pick is the dress that she actually wore to her wedding. So, she basically picked the dress today. She did also mention how she had 120 people to invite on her own. And David had about 90. But she said all her 120 people were friends. I'm like, damn, I don't even have 120 friends that I would invite to my wedding. I don't. I have a big family. And I have close-knit friends. I don't even need a lot of friends. You know what I'm saying? If I ever get married. I don't think, friend-wise, it won't be more than 20 friends for me at all. But she has 120 friends that she's gonna invite, so, you know, bravo. She does bring up how she is not going to invite her mom, and brings up how, you know, her mom won't be there to help her put her dress on, her dad won't be there to walk her down the aisle. I don't know what's up with her mom, her dad. I can't remember. I don't know if he's passed away or if he's just not around. But yeah. So that was the whole thing with Janelle. On to Brianna. I feel like the reason that, and this, I hope this don't sound harsh, I feel like the reason that Brianna is a single parent to Nova and will eventually be a single parent to Stella is solely based on her mother and her sister. I 100% believe that is the reason she is in the predicament she is in currently. You know, so we see that, you know, she's bringing Stella home. Nova is not too happy yet with being a big sister, because new babies can be very, very stressful. And I'm guessing Nova is seeing that. And, you know, they're driving home and the baby's screaming. Just screaming, crying. And, you know, Brianna's mom was driving. She's like, pull your breast out and breastfeed her. She's like, well, I can't. We in the car. And she was like, no, you pull your breast out. You lean over the car seat and you breastfeed her. And she did. And she stopped crying. So, you know, that was one thing. When they're at home, Lewis is there, and he's going to be there for a couple of days, as he said. And her mother, like, instantly starts questioning him about stuff, which I get. You know, this is about what his plan is. And this is my thing. No, I'm not even going to bring it up yet. So the next thing that we see is, because the mom was like, you know, how long you're going to be here? And he's like, well, I don't know. You know, as long as I can, I want to spend some time with her or whatever. And, you know, the next day we see Brianna saying how Lewis is not helpful. You know, he has no job. He does not change diapers. And his presence makes her uncomfortable. The reason his presence makes you uncomfortable is because your mother and your sister helps you to make it. They put it into your head that you don't need him. And again, I don't know what that man has done financially to help her. What I do know is, before you got pregnant, he probably didn't have a job, and before you got pregnant, he already had a child that he did not help with. So it doesn't seem like he is any different now than he was before you got pregnant. So that's the one thing that pisses me off about Brianna. And I also feel like, what if this is his first time being a hands-on father? What if with his first child he wasn't there? So he don't know about changing diapers. He doesn't know anything about babies. A lot of first-time dudes, they don't know shit about a baby. So my thing is, y'all ain't trying to be a team. Your team is you, your mama, your sister, and Nova. That's your team. You're not trying to have Chris be a part of your team. You want him to know exactly what you need. And that might not be his know-how. But I feel like if you be like, look, I need you to learn A, B, and C. Let me show you what you need to be doing. If you show him what he need to do and then he doesn't do it, then yeah, he is an asshole. But I feel like guys sometimes are harder at knowing babies, especially if they ain't did it before. Hell, some first-time moms have no idea what to do with babies, and that is the reason why they had people there to help them in the beginning to figure shit out. So, you know, they there. Her friend is there, and her mom asked her female friend, like, oh, where are you working now? She said, I'm working here, wherever. And she says, oh, are they hiring? The girl said, yeah, we're hiring or whatever. The mom was like, Louis, see, you can get a job. Why can't you get a job there? And he's sitting like, why the fuck does she keep talking to me, messing with me? You know, he then says to her, look, I've been applying places. I am looking for a job. You know, he's like, but I want to spend some time with Stella before I choose to go to trucking school. And she's like, oh, so now you have to choose to go to trucking school? I thought you were going right after she was born. He was like, well, no, I want to spend some time with her first. My thing is, when he first told Brianna he wanted to go to trucking school, she was upset, saying, why wouldn't you want to spend some time with her first couple of weeks and first couple of months? Now he's saying that he wants to do that, and that does not make you happy. You wanted him to make money for the baby, and then he told you, I'm going to go to trucking school, and you were upset that he was trying to go to trucking school. You were like, why did you go? For all this stuff. I'm not trying to make excuses for that man. I'm not trying to make him as a deadbeat or as a person who's not helping her. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. What I'm saying is, on the outside looking in, it looks like her family is helping her become a single parent. Because you're on this guy's head and you're not even on his head enough to where he like, okay, I have to do what I have to do. Y'all picking with him. Y'all poking him. Y'all poking. Your mama poking, your sister poking, and you poking. And I feel like they only doing that because he cheated on you. Because again, before you found out he was cheating on you, everything was good. Because before you found out he was cheating on you, he was good enough for you to have a baby with, and you were not thinking about adoption or nothing. Y'all were just gonna be together. You found out he was cheating, then all of a sudden everything changed. That's what it was. So, you know, when he started saying like, you know, me and Brianna talked, you know, we had a conversation. She told me if I didn't do what I need to do, what she was going to do. You know, her mom then goes, you know, you need to get a job, you know, that's what you need to do. And he's like, look, I don't want to fight with you. You know, I don't want to disrespect you. But I'm not about to argue and talk about this. I'm not going to talk to y'all about this every day. I get what he's saying. He's saying if me and her have already had a conversation, I shouldn't have to argue with you as her mother every day. Just because you feel like I should be doing A, B, and C. If me and her already had this conversation. And mama, you forget your daughter slept with this man when he wasn't shit. She did. She got pregnant by a guy who did not have a job. And who already had a child that he did not support. She did that. So my thing is, you can't then want to be her, you know, her voice. Because she put herself in this predicament when she got with a guy who wasn't shit. And that's the part that I think Brianna forgets. When you got with him, he didn't have anything. Like, he didn't have a job. Clearly he didn't. Because you all say he hasn't got a job the whole time you've been pregnant. He didn't have a job beforehand. So I feel like you put yourself in the if you got with a guy who had a job, he had his stuff together, and then once you get pregnant, he starts, backtracking. Be pissed off, absolutely. But you can't get pissed off when you get pregnant by no good, no job having 31-year-old man with another kid that he ain't taking care of, and now he ain't changed. Because he was who he was when you met him. Okay? He was who he was when you met him. And, the mom then called him you're such a loser. You're a douchebag. You have to let your daughter have this battle. And that's why I say I feel like her mother, her sister are helping her to become a single parent. Because they dog him so much, he not going to want to help them. He not. And that is not an excuse for him not to help. I'm not at all saying that he is off the hook and he doesn't have to help. And okay, it's her fault that he isn't shit. I'm not fully saying that. What I'm saying is you have to know when you put your foot in mud, your foot gonna get dirty. You can't get pissed off that you step in shit and you get shit on your foot. You can't. You cannot get mad when you put yourself in a predicament. Okay? So, her mom is going in, and then Brianna then goes into the whole thing, you're a loser, no job, 2 kids, you have nothing. This new baby is here, and you haven't helped me at all. But again, when you met him, he ain't had shit. He didn't. He didn't. He then gets up. They show Brianna, he has the baby. The baby is crying, so she needs to breastfeed. And they must have a 3-bedroom house. So there's a room where Brianna sleeps. Her daughter's bed is in there. Her bed is in there. And not the bassinet in there. So my thing is, you are a mother of 2. You don't even have your own house. You stay with your mama. Okay? You don't fully have your shit together. Let's get that out the way. So, you were living at home with your mom, with your daughter. You then got pregnant by a guy with no job. You got pregnant by a douchebag. Lewis is a douchebag. Absolutely. But you knew beforehand that you couldn't afford another baby. So why would you have a baby by a guy who doesn't have shit? Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in that situation? My thing is, if you don't... And I don't want to sound like an asshole what I'm saying, but I'm hoping y'all will get my point. That she could have avoided this whole situation by not fucking the man who didn't have shit and having his baby. That's all I'm saying. So, she in her room, she's breastfeeding. Her mama's in there helping her fluff pillows on and stuff. You see Lewis is in the living room finna go to sleep. They then show it's like 12:30 at night and Lewis is leaving the house. And so she gets up and goes to her mom's room like, yeah, Lewis just left. He said he's gonna come back tomorrow. The sister wakes up like, why y'all so loud? Am I the only one who like to sleep? What happened? And she's like, Lewis left. He said he'll be back tomorrow. Now, in my eyes, what's wrong with that? Y'all already been fucking with him the whole time he been there. You see how his presence makes you uncomfortable. Y'all ain't making him feel welcome there. The sister then says he probably left because you embarrassed his ass in front of like 20 people. That's probably why he left. Why are y'all surprised that he left? And then when she's like, well, should I call him? Call him for what? Like for what? You're not gonna call him and say, I'm sorry. Maybe we can try to be positive. Maybe we can work on that. You gonna call him and say, why did you leave? You're so dumb. That's stupid. So then the sister says, if he call you tomorrow, you shouldn't answer the phone. Again, your mother or your sister are preparing you to be a single parent again. Because why are you listening to people who do not have a man of their own? There's no other man in their household. It's just y'all. And I feel like it's because of how y'all are. And I don't think anyone should advise a new mom to not talk to their child's father, to fix it. You know what I'm saying? To fix it. The baby not even a week old, and you're already telling your sister, if he call you, ignore his phone call. You know what I'm saying? We know he ain't shit. We know he not shit. We know he not shit, sister. If he call you, don't talk to him no more. Your mother and your sister are preparing you to be a single parent. They are. I mean, it's true. I mean, they are. Because my thing is he not shit? No, he not shit. He not. I mean, Lewis can do much, much better. But at the same time, he ain't gonna want to do better if he feel like all y'all do is fuck with him. And it's true. And again, it does not make it right for the fact that he's not helping her. But again, you got with him and he didn't have anything. You can't kiss a frog and hope he becomes a shark. Okay? That's not how it happens. That's not how life works. You can't want someone to change overnight. And overnight for some people can be 9 months, because he wasn't shit his whole 31 years. And you getting pregnant just wasn't the thing to wake him up. But it won't wake him up if y'all keep poking at him. I feel like y'all need to have a conversation with him. And then if he does not change, then just do what you need to do as a parent. Do what you need to do as a parent for your children if he not going to be shit. But you can't keep beating him down thinking that's going to make him do right, because it's not. And you don't have to kiss his ass either. You just do what you need to do, and you don't concern yourself with him and his lack of anything. But I just feel like the kind of person he seems to be, the more y'all keep fucking with him, the less he gonna do. That's just my personal opinion. So, that was Teen Mom. What was it? Season 8, episode something. Episode 14. So, I'm going to end this right here. I hope you guys heard what I said and didn't take it the wrong way. If you did take it the wrong way, put some comments at the bottom and I will try to have a conversation with y'all. But, I think Brianna's a great mom. I do think that. I think she loves her children. I think she picked a bad baby daddy for the second time. And I think her mother and her sister aren't helping the situation by nitpicking at everything. Because at the end of the day, them fucking with him is still putting more stress on Brianna. So, I am Jay Lee. This is Jaylee's Corner. Peace.